Hey guys, welcome back to Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1. We're just outside of the old manor. We don't have a lot of clues here, but there is a neighbour who we used to know. So let's see if we can find him. I think the house is just down here with that hot air balloon. We'll head down the stairs, see if we can have a chat with him. Looks like something is going on here.
That wretch Goliath would murder us all. Mark my words.
Gilded's yard.
Destruction and trampled ground. Destruction and trampled ground.
Uh-oh, someone has been killed. In quite a bad way, actually. First of all, let's just see what's through here.
Hog heaven.
Okay, looks like he was keeping pigs here.
A coal gas tank. Enough to pump up an airship.
And somebody's dropped
A
a
sailor's
knife.
knife, useful for cutting wet and thick ropes.
Sailor's knife.
It's seen a lot of use. The blade is worn from grinding.
Okay. Anything else here?
Fresh signs of impact. A rough landing led to an altercation with this shed.
Okay, picking up the clues. So something did happen here by the shed. Someone dropped a knife and was flung into the wooden plank there. I guess we should check out this body. Looks like he was dragged from that area over there with the sign Goliath.
Oof, a contortionist you were not. Disjointed vertebrae. Difficult to say if it was a way to start or finish him off.
Now, Gilded did have a missing finger, I think, so this is obviously him.
A missing pinky. Middle-aged. It's none other than Theodore Gilded. A belt from a dressing gown. Curious. A kneecap reduced to splinters.
Oh boy, Sherlock. Another death means another question.
And we shall answer the question. It's far too interesting to give it up to the police.
He was certainly under pressure.
Yeah, he's definitely been mangled, so it's somebody of large size or some kind of an animal has done that.
An amount of attention that most can only dream of.
Okay. Two tons minimum, so an adult elephant, fairly large size.
Poke the elephant with this? Really? People are hopeless.
A pool of blood and saliva, possibly as a result of impact. A strong pull broke this leash.
Sherlock, take a picture of the footprint. It's valuable evidence.
Okay. So E.
This photograph can help us find the old article about the elephants. The front page was fascinating. It was hard to believe as a child.
True. We may need it in our investigation. A royal suite for a favorite pet.
Plenty of food to satisfy even the most fastidious. This is quite comfy.
Okay, it does look fairly obvious what happened. Gilded was poking the elephant. The elephant got angry, grabbed him or ran into him, he broke the lead, then dragged him over there. Let's take a quick look at the The clues: beside the shed containing the coal gas tank, someone fell and broke a flower. So there was someone else involved as well. They dropped a bosun's knife commonly used among the sailors. As unbelievable as it may be, Cordona is home to an elephant. The creature is large enough to leave footprints 18 inches wide. I visited the house of an old family friend. Okay, the body of the man was found in the enclosed pen of a large animal. His right hand missing his little finger. It's Theodore Gilded. Okay, he was mangled. Okay, elephant's life. John reminded me of a newspaper article from our childhood. It was the first time I'd seen these beautiful creatures. I can check the newspaper's archive. It was a front page story written by a science journalist and would have been published 10 years ago. Okay. Let's start near the leash. See what options we have. Okay, so a third man came up and whacked Gilded, enraging the elephant. Possible. He was hitting the elephant here, who was rearing back. I think this one, because there is a blood splotch here, and it does look like Gilded was dragged. So an elephant could easily pick up a man with its trunk, drag him over here, and this is where we found the body. Okay, then trampled over him and escaped. Somebody must have been watching or running away here, and they were knocked into the workshop. What other options do we have though? Someone running away. Okay, so this is the only one that explains the break in that wooden plank there. Let's go with this.
In a fit of rage, the elephant broke the chain and threw its victim on the ground with a fierce power. Escaping the scene, it pulled the body with it, but dropped it at the gate. At least some of this was witnessed by a third party who was hurled against the shed. The elephant can't have gone too far. I can still track it.
Well, suppose you find it. Then what? Push it all the way back to the manor?
Do I need to pin something? I think I do. The person was hit by the gate during the elephant's escape. Perhaps they saw what happened. Okay, so let's pin this and see if we can follow the tracks. And maybe we can ask these people.
Could you help me?
That's a question I can answer.
The elephant named Goliath crossed the Greek bridge in the direction of the forest where Theodore used to walk it. So up to the north. Let's see if we can find any more clues. Okay, another footprint. Elephant's footprint in olive oil.
Into this cart of olive oil.
What if we're lucky and he slipped and fell somewhere along the way?
May I ask for your assistance?
Mr. Fancy Clothes won't find any answers here.
Okay, he's not going to help us out. Okay, the elephant has gone this way. Continues ahead and continues this way. My gratitude to this island will grow, just as this tree I give to you, from the most responsible citizen in Cordona, T. Gilded. So Theodore Gilded gave them this tree. And this is where he used to walk the elephant.
Okay, hear me out. If an elephant falls in the forest and there's no one around to...
John, no.
Oh, you're such a killjoy.
Okay, this way. Have I lost the trail? Let's go back down here. Come on, Sherlock. Use your powers of observation to find out where the elephant has gone. Sherlock's lost the trail. Okay, he's going off this way now. Ah, here we go. Let's take a look around.
Strange. It was hung with care.
Dear Theodore, I'm writing to you as a fellow islander. I value our friendship just as I value the lives of our people. Although I'm afraid this one-sided friendship cannot tie my hands any longer. I'm being made to look weak in the eyes of your neighbours. They believe that your tree is a mockery and not a peace offering as you intended. The people are afraid you refuse to give your elephant a proper trainer, instead using your own limited knowledge to teach it. It is an impossible situation. I admit that I did not think of having the elephant forcibly taken and given... I admit that I did think of having the elephant forcibly taken and given to Mr. Tailheart. He has shown that he is quite capable of looking after the elephant being... Although she is female and far less frightening than your beast, please reconsider the situation. Sir William Sinclair, Governor of Cordona.
The game has escaped us for now. We'll find a solution to the elephant problem later.
Okay, so it went into the water. We can't follow it in there. Sherlock is afraid of the water. We do have a key for the manor. We've been given a challenge from John to go to the newspaper place, the Chronicle. Looks like there's something here. The art trader has some things for us as well. So how do we get to the Cordona Chronicle? Should we go to the art dealer first? Pick up some items for the house.
Simply the best garments on the island.
You'll never find such magnificent paintings anywhere else. Just take a look. My goods will brighten up your house.
The Holmes family portrait. Map of London. Violet's portrait, irreplaceable. Sketch of a boy.
Enjoy your purchase.
Okay, some of them seem like Sherlock's paintings. One was of the family. Okay, so we need to head up here, then run to the north. I haven't been to the newspaper Chronicle yet.
Extra, extra! The hive gets stung! A substantial...
Cordona Chronicle. Ah, is this it here? Right.
Stop the presses. Who is Cordona's handsome stranger? Or nosebagger spurns local life? Wait, no. Foppish foreigner hides dark past. Oh, you've made quite the impression already, Mr. Holmes. You care to tell your side of the story?
I'm quite certain I have no idea as to what you refer, and I am further certain I have no interest in indulging your gossip.
Gossip? The truth will come out, but will only be heard if told well. Scandal, daring-do, romance. These are the tools of every good journalist. Nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a great story. Young man, your tale will be told with or without you. My readers demand it.
You already knew my name and seem aware of my doings here in Cordona. I presume this newspaper is your little endeavor?
Yasmin Sertel, editor-in-chief of the Cordona Chronicle. Advocate of the free press, voice of the people, scourge of the silk stocking.
Charmed, I'm sure. As an advocate of the free press, I trust you'll permit me to consult your archives? There are gaps in my knowledge of Cordona.
Oh, so my work does have merit. Well, I think we can strike a bargain. I shall provide you access, and you let me keep writing about your exploits.
So be it.
Brooding bachelor builds bridges. Now that's character development.
I guess I owe you my gratitude.
What can I say? I've always enjoyed working with the Holmes. They whisper such interesting things.
Okay, so we can use the archives. Where's John? Oh, there he is. Just hanging out here.
I'll be right here.
Actually, let's go back to the clues first. Okay, it was a front page story written by a science journalist 10 years ago. So it was, the current year is 1880, it's 1870. People, it was a science journalist, and it was in the front page. I need to change the evidence. Elephant's Life. Okay, let's search. There. The Lord of All Beasts, written by Dr. Ian Menzies. Only a lucky few can claim to have beheld this planet's strangest and most wonderful fellow, the elephant, said to be land's largest animal. This colossal yet friendly creature enchants all with its size, intelligence, and communication. Elephants are mammals just like humans and originate in Asia and Africa. Despite feet that reach 18 to 25 inches in adult males, the elephant is surprisingly agile and, in concert with its prehensile trunk, can perform feats of remarkable dexterity. Elephants form strong emotional bonds with their loved ones. Some scientists have even reported witnessing signs of grief or happiness. Perhaps the question is not how much elephants resemble us, but how much we resemble them. If Goliath had feet of 18 inches, then he must be a smaller adult. Still pretty big nonetheless.
That's the article. Feeling old already?
But anyway, we've got the key, so we can head back to the house, to the manor. And I guess I should start putting the clues together as well. I just want to have a look in here and see the paintings, see if that unlocks another memory. Now, were these paintings here before? They're not the ones I purchased. I did buy this one, though.
Portrait was painted sometime before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains.
The map. We purchased the map. But I can't click on it. Okay, that's fine. And there's a portrait as well. I wonder if that's around here somewhere. Nope, I can't see the portrait. That's fine. Let's get out of here. And run back down to the neighbour's house. I've got the key to get inside, so we can have a look around. See what he was up to. Alright, let's start with the downstairs area.
I can always recognize the spirit of a true artist.
That leads to the outside.
This young lady has a childish interest for her age.
You. Who are you?
My name is Sherlock Holmes. Theodore Gilded was...
Did you kill him? Did you kill the elephant?
It's not in the yard anymore. It escaped into the forest.
You can't let it go. What if it returns?
I highly doubt that, Miss...
Imogen Gilded. Please, I beg of you, find that dreadful beast that killed my father.
I suppose we do need to learn what happened. Can you tell me what happened? From the very start.
I was here, so I didn't see how it began. My father visits the enclosure every morning to wake up Goliath. Today, I heard the elephant scream. I've never heard such a horrifying sound. My heart stopped. I knew something was wrong. I looked through my window and saw how it lifted my father up by his neck. I rushed downstairs. I saw it dragging my father as if he were a doll. I threw stones at it. It dropped my father's body and charged outside, screaming. Its roar was almost human. I was frightened, so I ran inside and hid here.
That is a terrifying experience, Miss Gilded. I'm sorry you had to go through it.
Thank you. Goliath must be caught, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you for the information, Miss Gilded. I did have some questions for your father. Perhaps you might help me with them?
I wasn't privy to much of my father's life, and it's very hard to think of anything at all with Goliath still loose. Please, Mr. Holmes.
Very well. Do you mind if I ask you more questions if I find anything that might help?
Anything to catch that monster.
Miss Gilded, I was on this island 10 years ago, and your father knew my mother. I believe I even had the opportunity to ride that balloon outside, but I do not recall seeing you.
I lived at my late mother's in Sheffield at the time. I'm in no spirit to reminisce right now. The elephant is out there.
You've never heard the name Violet Holmes before? Perhaps your father...
Please, Mr. Holmes. With that beast roaming free, I can't think of anything.
Very well.
Right, let's get some more clues
I have
first,
to
and
leave
then
you for now.
we can ask her about everything at the same time.
A commendable effort to barricade the windows.
Okay, I don't think the elephant's coming through the windows. A book.
False idols? Oh, sounds utterly dreary. She packed as much as she could carry.
Okay, there is a third clue here somewhere.
The same dull poses on all romantic photographs. So idyllic. Enjoy your happily ever after before it stales.
Hey, Sherry, we need to talk. You found false idols. We need to find the remaining two.
What does bazooka even mean? Would this paper be good for anything but blowing one's nose on?
They're not rubbish, Sherry. There's something more. I'm serious.
Very well. I doubt it'll be worth it, but I will find them for you, John.
You'll thank me later. They're some of the most imaginative books I've ever read.
What did you say?
Speaking aloud helps me think.
That looks like that's it for this room. Let's go and take a look at that book, John's Challenge. John's requested we locate the entire Bazookiology trilogy by Wallace de Orem. I found the first book in Imogen's room. This humiliation of the written word is unfathomably rather popular. I suppose I can at least attempt to understand why. Okay. The animal suspect left a trail of oily footprints. Imogen's testimony. She packed a lot of bags. There's a photo of her with someone. And the message, this victory is for you and you only. 1879 race finals from my lighthouse in the darkest storm. Paul. Okay. Jim's diary, the ink-stained letter regarding Gilden's tree. The Lord of All Beasts from the Chronicle and False Idols. This is the book. Wallace de Orem brings you along on an explosive trip by the most crucial couple in the history of archaeology. Nabe and Laura follow the path of love, betrayal and revenge in the first part of the trilogy of Bazookiology. Steel-muscled Nabe and flexible Laura attempt to find the lost city of the moon. However, there is a somewhat oversized monocle that has been focused on them since their journey to the center of the earth. Dr. Madbone, giant underwater spiders, poisonous parrots and bloodthirsty mummies will test the luck and knowledge of our characters. Will our beloved pair of scientists survive? Find out in this first part of Adventures of Nabe and Laura. Okay, I can see why Sherlock doesn't like it, but John does. We've got a few clues here. Mr. Gilden owned a wild animal. Fatal battering. Damage to the shed. No. Okay. Goliath may have killed Theodore. It certainly looks like it. Bosun's knife. There was a witness to the chaos on Gilden's property. They dropped their knife and may have injuries from the fall. Okay. Right, let's check out the rest of the house, see if we can find Gilden's room.
The nicest spot in the room. Mr. Gilden spent hours of his life right here.
Staring at an elephant's backside. What a wonderful life. Looks eccentric and smells eccentric.
Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. Quite the spectrum. From the history of the Roman Empire to conspiracy theories of the French Revolution. Mother. It's nice to see her young and smiling. From before Mycroft was born. Our family loves to prod at the past.
Holmes's desire to rake up the past is hereditary.
A relatively functional choice to replace the finger.
Alright, fake finger.
Oh, the pungent stench of an animal.
Did Theodore seek some pink elephants with this?
So say 1868.
I think Miss Gilden has barely matured.
$1877. There's Goliath.
I think they were closer than you and me, John.
I'm hurt.
Okay, so I think we've got enough to go and ask Imogen about. something more here. A local wealthy resident, Theodore Gilded, 55, has purchased an Indian elephant from a travelling circus. Mr. Gilded commented, "It is a wonderful opportunity. There is no one on this island better suited to provide such a comfortable home for this elephant. It is a paradise for a noble creature. No longer will this animal be locked in a tent with clowns. He will be my companion from now on, my second child, and I will protect him. Don't be jealous, people of Cordona. I'm your best citizen. Only time will tell if this is a midsummer madness or not." The neighbouring elite of Cordona are shocked to read the news and furthermore to hear the terrible trumpetings of the beast, but they are having to accept the eccentricity of one of Cordona's most powerful. Now we can all say that the richest of our island have troubles to bear too, the same as the rest of us.
His second child? An apparent son and heir, I'd say.
Ivory baths?
What's so special about this place? Another elephant? A partnership annulled with a single stroke of a pen.
So A Swift.
A catchy title. I should take a photograph of the plans. I don't want to carry them around.
Okay. Here we go. Take a photo. Let's have a look here. The perfume vial, we'll have to ask Imogen about that. Ivory Baths construction plan. The name A Swift has been struck out. Anything on this table? Do you have anything to say, John?
Looks eccentric and smells eccentric.
Alright. Let's see if Imogen has anything else to say. We do have a lot of evidence here.
A Swift, is this name familiar to you? Your father had it removed from this plan.
Oh, that's Arthur Swift. I've seen him a couple of times here. He works with my father in the old city, digging up something ancient.
He is an archaeologist?
That's the word, yes. But to be truthful, I really don't think Mr. Swift is fit to be one. I've just learnt a lot about archaeology from my favourite book series. Oh, they are page-turners.
Inspirational, I'm sure, but would you happen to know where this Mr. Swift might be found?
I don't, but perhaps you can find out somewhere. My father's work with him is all official. Lots of boring legal papers with signatures and stuff. I don't have any thoughts on this.
Right, she already told us about that.
Did you observe anyone else in the yard? Any of your servants, perhaps?
Servants? Do you imagine that we would have any with Goliath? No one wishes to work in this house, even for double pay. I didn't see anyone else. Only my father and that diabolical beast.
The only other person we're aware of is that person in the photo, Paul. Well, it could have been one of Gilden's partners, or even A Swift as well.
Had Goliath been aggressive before?
It's dangerous, but it was never aggressive near my father. My father would do anything for Goliath. All the elephant had to do was clap its ears.
You envied him, the elephant, I mean?
Our house is called the House of Ivory. I've heard some people refer to me as the Ivory Girl, and my room stinks of the animal, as if it's me who lives in a pen and not Goliath. It's not envy, Mr. Holmes. It's just incredibly difficult to live like this. I'm afraid I can't add anything useful.
And, which part of the elephant is in here? It's quite pungent.
Oh, that. It's elephant sweat. Father believed that it might replace traditional ambergris.
Well, that's true entrepreneur spirit. How can you read something like this? It's hard to swallow, and that's not due to the hard cover.
You're hardly serious. Any library without Nabe and Laura is incomplete. If you can read, then these books are an absolute must. Love and adventure. They're about life.
Oh, I wasn't aware that exploding pyramids were a part of daily life on Cordona.
You haven't seen life, so you might try reading about it at least. I've nothing to say about this.
These bags of yours, it looks as if you've packed your entire room. Were you planning on going somewhere?
My partner and I, we wanted a change, a fresh start abroad. But now I have to stay here. Here, an orphan.
I found this. Who's this young lad next to you, your faithful knight?
Paul. He's my pirate. He's not really a pirate. I just call him that. It probably sounds very silly.
Your secret is safe in my hands. Does Paul work somewhere? What is his surname?
His name is Paul Perks. He and his yacht Whirlpool are the champions of the Salacia Yacht Club. He sails there. I'll show you where it is on the map if you need to meet him.
A yachting champion? Well, that will be a first. I prefer dry land. And so does my suit.
Alright, key evidence collected. Let's head outside. I want to go to the map. The yacht club is down here, which means we can just fast travel down here and then run to the west. We'll go and talk to this Paul character. Let's just have a look at the evidence first of all. Imogen didn't notice anyone else. Imogen considers Goliath dangerous, but had never been aggressive with Theodore. The vial contains sweat of the elephant. She had plans to leave with her partner. They wanted to start a new life. The photo of Imogen with a person called Paul, who's a yachtsman. So let's pin that evidence. I don't think we need to ask for the address because it is marked on the map. Let's see if I know of anyone called Paul.
May I ask you something?
That's a question I can answer.
Your club members mentioned that Paul missed the race and no one has seen him since morning. He might be in his room in the workshop south of the yacht club. Okay. Let's go check out the workshop. No women allowed, no smoking, clean up after yourself, only dry shoes. Don't touch any yacht that you don't own. Violators will be subject to severe fines and exclusions from the club. Alright, let's take a look around. So, here's the whirlpool.
Bloodied bandages. Has someone been hurt?
Okay. Can't get inside at the moment. Storage, and here is the whirlpool.
The champion's whirlpool. Paul's bread and butter.
And there's John just chilling out in the water. Fair enough. Nothing else is coming up, so I guess we'll see if we can get into storage.
A foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
It should have a warning to cover your ears.
This book number 2, Sails of Hatred.
Sails of Hatred. I suppose there is something for everyone, including champions.
Who knew archaeology could be so exciting?
Exciting is certainly a word.
Alright, let's check out this book. Sails of Hatred. Wallace de Orem continues his experimental trilogy with an innovative second part concerning the most crucial couple in the history of archaeology, Nabe and Laura. They have achieved success, although their victory comes at a cost. Dr. Madbone's true identity has forced Nabe to question his life and that of everyone around him, even Laura. His greatest enemy is his father. His greatest friend might be a monster. In this second installment, readers will learn more about the scientific past of both characters, how they survived for so long in the heart of the desert, and if archaeology can resurrect the dead. For after all, Dr. Madbone was only a pawn in the game of the larger threat, Sir Dread. Okay. In the room with a whirlpool plaque, I noticed a bloodied bandage. Found the second of the trilogy. Fatal battering damage to the shed. Partnership ended. Okay. Let's see if we can get into the whirlpool room. The whirlpool workshop.
Where would a champion hide a key?
Where indeed? We do actually need to pin this. Let's look a little closer. Crack in the door. Okay. Slightly crooked, recently moved. And there is the
Paul
key.
is more skilled at yachting than he is at hiding keys.
It's not a bad hiding spot, actually. But we should be able to get in here now. Take a look around.
An expensive set of tools for woodwork. An amateur wouldn't know how to use these.
They poison darts.
A box full of darts. Each has a needle and can be loaded with drugs.
Looks like 2 have been used already.
Shipbuilding, shipwright's tricks, sail weaving. Bloodied bandages. To earn big, you have to spend big.
You Gorma Skilly Wetfoot, you think you can leech off my family, steal my money, exploit my daughter? This ends today. Your career is over. I shall give you one final warning. If you refuse to cooperate, you'll find yourself in deep water, Gilded.
Mr. Gilded wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty.
No, and not very happy with Paul, apparently. More letters over here. Slishy Bookmakers Tournament Race Whirlpool to win. Total winnings 600. You do not get to back out of our deal. You do not get to leave on a whim. You need to get us fresh something or other. We need you to get us fresh leaves for our tea party. If you have any questions, the boys will be keeping an eye on you at the race.
An interesting place for a message to a champion. Additional earnings to sweeten the victory. Old betting slips. Paul always bets on Whirlpool. One victory after another.
Okay. Right, let's have a look at this then. I found the key. The Whirlpool room had a box full of darts in excellent state. There's a threat from Gilden. Then there's a suspicious note, which we need to pin. So we're going to pin that, have a look around. So they wanted Paul to get the leaves for the race or something. So they're maybe smuggling something. Either during the race or using the yacht at some other time. Okay, maybe they're hiding something in these tins. Queen's Breakfast Blend Tea.
Undeniably psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think. Undeniably psychotropes. Not for toothache, I think.
Okay. Damage to the shed. Nothing else really connects here. No, okay. Don't see any other connections there.
foghorn to navigate and warn others at sea.
We can become pirates and show them what should be stored in here.
Is there anything else I'm supposed to see here? Oh, okay.
A typical tea tin. I wonder what he has for biscuits.
Okay, so I needed to look at the front to take that and to update the evidence. I thought I was missing something there. Storage room held evidence that Paul is involved in organised crime, smuggling psychotropics on the yacht. Which might update something. No, didn't update anything in the Mind Palace.
Oi! Hands off my possessions before you lose your fingers. Are you illiterate? The rules are written everywhere.
Ah, Mr. Perks, the cabin boy himself.
Champion, you mean? I was right. You are illiterate. I think a couple of shiners might teach you. One last chance. Who are you?
I'm Sherlock Holmes, a friend of our mutual acquaintance, Miss Imogen.
Look, you artichoke. Imogen has no friends. Except for me.
If you must try to insult people, it's better to know the meanings of the words that you're using.
You fancy you could teach a sailor to swear? Go ahead. Show me how inventive you are.
Stand still for a moment.
Okay, female. Hit something hard. So Paul was at the house and was knocked into the workshop, it seems. Bandaged arm. Okay, so Paul is a woman who disguises herself as a man to achieve a higher social position. Uses her career in yachting as a cover to smuggle goods for various gangs. Or she's a professional yachtswoman who disguises herself as a man to achieve higher social position. She puts all of her effort into sport, even though it comes with the occasional accident on the open sea. In this dangerous sport, she is a fearless yachtswoman who will not give up, even when it costs her, and yet that is a man's prerogative. Let's go with professional yachtswoman.
I'm impressed by how well a woman can handle a yacht and endure so many hardships on the open sea. The revelation of your nature could well humiliate so many rich men here, not to mention how you have broken the rules. But I understand. You've done this to forge a real career in the sport. But tell me something. Has no one asked you why you don't grow a beard?
Shh! Have you been following me? You better not be wanting to end my career, because I swear you'll regret it if I get outed.
Damn you, Paul. I'm sick of... Who's this peacock? Does he know who I am?
I definitely know who you are not. You're not a dictionary reader, at least. I wanted to see how you... pals interact with each other in your natural habitat. But I'm afraid I have to interfere.
I'm coming for you.
No more crime for you until next month.
Ah!
Too simple.
Come on, quick!
No more crime for you.
The snuff's ready.
How many more of them are there? Oh gosh! lot of armor on. To shoot off all the little bits of... Oh my goodness. Stop shooting me. Oh my goodness. Stop it.
Terribly sorry. Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Let's get a mask on though.
It's all yours now.
Oh, hopefully that was the last one.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Oh, there's more. How many are there? Why are there always so many of them? Come on. Ugh.
Dodge this!
How did all these people just arrive all of a sudden?
I couldn't miss the party. Oh! I'm coming for you.
I was dodging.
Oh, you killed him!
Oops, shot the wrong guy.
Can overcome the brute now.
How? Could use this.
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Oh my goodness, there's so many of them. I think that was 9.
And there's no reward for risking our lives.
Paul's explanation will suffice.
Alright, what does Paul have to say about all of that?
Your fellow mariners have a strange way of showing hospitality.
They were not my friends.
Are you sure? I would rather risk my neck for someone who's at least honest and thankful.
Perhaps then don't enter someone's life and be so judgmental, pretending you're better than they are.
Then give me your perspective and allow me to see through your eyes. What were you doing this morning, Miss Perks?
Don't call me that. I'm a champion. I was sailing.
The other club members told me that you missed the race this morning. Do champions not need to practice?
You've talked with them already. No, I wasn't racing. I visited the doctor after that attack on me. And then I had to honor the deal with the bandits you just took care of.
I tried to tell you before, but your partners interrupted. Have you heard the news? Theodore Gilded is dead. Do you have anything to say?
Well, what a shock. To me, he was an angry old ogre. Good riddance. Was it Goliath that killed him? Did it crush him? Break his bones? Come on, tell me. I want all the details.
You have an unusual way of showing grief. Imogen wouldn't appreciate that. But yes, the animal could have been involved.
It's poetic in a way, isn't it? It takes a beast to kill a monster. I wish I could have been that elephant.
You're asking for trouble with this smuggling business. You'd better leave it before they smuggle you out in a barrel.
Don't patronize me. I've only ever had trouble with law-abiding citizens like Gilded and you, never bandits. So ask me anything you want, and then get out of my sight.
Alright.
I don't know what you're suggesting. I don't know what you're suggesting.
Okay, doesn't know anything about that.
I don't know what this means.
Doesn't know anything about the elephant.
I'm clueless.
Clueless about... What about the construction plan?
A. Swift. Are you familiar with this name? The gentleman had business with Mr. Gilded.
Likely just another strange and wrinkled fellow like old Gilded was. Perhaps this Swift person has a rhino, and they wanted to see which pet was stronger. In other words, I don't know who he is, but I bet he's crazy like Theodore.
I doubt that Cordona has ever boasted a battle arena for that size of mammal. You have an interesting imagination. Does this knife seem familiar? I didn't find it in your competitor's back, to be clear.
This knife is as blunt as your humor. It's a bosun's knife, but it's not mine. I wouldn't be so careless as to mislay my tools.
What can you tell me about the elephant?
He's smarter than some people here, including his owner. Although I feel he could be dangerous, no matter how much he's fed.
Why is that? Have you ever seen Goliath attack anyone?
Well, not exactly. But I saw it, abusing some poor tree during one of its walks with Theodore. The expression on that old ninny's face was priceless. But it wasn't funny to look at. Believe me, it was frightening. I don't know what this means.
Imogen doesn't strike me as an industrious young lady, so I find it strange that she was busy packing up all her belongings when Mr. Gilded died. That's some favorable wind in your sails, isn't it?
Is it so suspicious that a couple might embark on a trip? I wanted to thank her, so we planned to go traveling. A Theodore-free place, without elephants.
The timing of it is suspicious, however. Your lady friend becomes an orphan and heir, and there's a planned trip directly afterwards.
An improvised romantic dinner will never please a spoilt girl. A planned voyage might. It's not spur of the moment.
A charming picture. I've heard that champions do often pose with their trophies.
Cheeky. It is a lovely trophy, though. I'm sure you will agree.
What is it that you like most about her? Her naivety? Her father's money?
A somewhat difficult choice. Especially now that her father is out of the equation.
Between yachts, darts, and notes from bandits, I've discovered many fascinating facts about you. But this, an installment of Nabe and Laura's adventures. Why did you sully your library with this?
It's a gift from Imogen. I didn't buy it. I might have turned a couple of pages, but nothing more. I swear.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt, but your literary taste has put you on my blacklist. Look what I found. A box full of darts.
Hey, that's mine.
I confiscated it. These darts appear to be filled with something. Poison? How powerful is it?
It's strychnine. Enough to instantly kill a small rodent. I haven't tried it on a human. Yet. I hope you know what you're doing.
Could it immobilize a larger animal, say, an elephant?
I've never tried, but I have wondered.
Okay, there's a threat from Gilded. I'll ask him about that last. Psychotropics.
I don't know what this means.
You smuggle illicit psychotropes on your yacht. Not a delivery for the hospital, I'm sure.
Of course not. I've had to cut corners to earn some money. How might a person afford to pay for a yacht in an honest way? I don't know, although I'm smart. The buyers are my customers. Adults who are willing to pay for their pleasure, or weapons for jewels. Whatever they want me to deliver. Nothing criminal.
Well, it's your lucky day. I'm not here because of smuggling. Have you tasted this tea yourself?
I wouldn't have been a champion if I had used it. It's just a side business that keeps my career afloat. It's quite expensive to compete in yachting. Sometimes I cut corners.
Such as fixing Whirlpool yourself?
Exactly. And sometimes I just have to pay. That's how I earn money. I don't sell slaves or take the last mangear from a poor family.
It seems as though Theodore Gilded hung a sword of Damocles over your life and career. Were these only words or something more serious?
Check my forearm. Pulled muscles and bruises. Small cuts. Nothing that you could call serious.
I doubt that a man in his late 50s could wrestle you.
It wasn't him. He behaved like a rat and hired brutes. His boys tried to lock my hands behind my back, but I was faster and I escaped.
Was he so protective of his daughter, or was it your feminine secret that provoked him?
My guess is that he was protecting his property. As he saw it, he owned Imogen, and he treated her like a piece of furniture. He didn't want his daughter to be loved by anyone. What's more painful is that Theodore didn't allow me to love his daughter. Typical.
I'm not sure that your relationship with Imogen could be described as typical.
Are you afraid of a woman in trousers? Now that's typical of men.
Alright, so that's all the evidence we're going to get here, I think. Key evidence collected. We'll head back out and bring some of this evidence to Imogen. So let's have a look. Casebook. Alright, so lots of this evidence has been updated. The knife doesn't belong to her. Okay, so maybe it wasn't Imogen at the residence. Box of darts, suspicious note. Threats in an envelope. Right. Theodore attacked Paul. Theodore attempted to destroy Paul. Theodore Gilded was highly motivated to destroy Paul's career and well-being, even going so far as to hire criminals. Okay, so nothing is connecting together yet in our deductions page. Damage to the shed. Paul has a fresh bruise. Paul's elbow injury may have been sustained by falling on Theodore Gilded's shed. It's possible. I don't think any of these connect together. No. Okay. So still a few more clues there. We need to piece together. Let's go to the map. Head up to the Stonewood Manor. And we'll talk to Imogen once more. I don't think there's anything I want to pin, so let's get rid of that. Okay, a little bit more evidence.
I don't have any thoughts on this. I don't have any thoughts on this.
The box of darts, the suspicious note.
Are you aware that Paul smuggles drugs for a dangerous gang?
Mr. Holmes, I've already told you. I call him a pirate in play. He's not an actual pirate. He's a champion and a brave gentleman, not a thug.
Let us agree to disagree on that. But don't be surprised if one of his clients knocks on your door.
I don't have any thoughts on this.
Alright, let's ask about Gilden's threat.
Have you seen what your father sent to Paul?
This is despicable. My father was never a gentleman, but this crosses the line. I knew that father wasn't fond of Paul, but this is just awful. If only he could have seen how good Paulie is to me.
Right, a little bit of evidence updated. I think that's all we can do here for now. Quick look at the casebook. Imogen doesn't want to believe that Paul could do something like this. Okay, I think we need to... Nothing else can be pinned. I almost feel like I'm missing something, but there is... the Ivory Baths construction plan. I'm actually going to pin this. Arthur Swift is the name of Mr. Gilden's business partner. They were working together on a project in the old city. She doesn't know anything else but said that this partnership involved a lot of paperwork. Maybe we can go to the city hall and find something, or ask around the street, and see if we can figure out where these ivory baths are. But we'll do that next time.